Good evening, everyone, and once again, thank you for joining me for our bi-weekly guided meditation and Dharmet. And for the month of May, we're talking about various types of beginnings, new beginnings, and moving forward, and so forth. And so tonight we'll be talking about new beginnings themselves and how we can embrace gratitude with those new beginnings. And so once again, thank you very much. Today is May 17th, 2021, and it's roughly 6:01 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. And so we'll begin this with our guided meditation. We're going to do a guided meditation body scan. So go ahead and take a moment or two and get yourself into, whatever comfortable position works for you. And as you do so, deepening feelings of gratitude with a mindfulness body scan, they allow us to increase our awareness and appreciation, and even makes us kinder, not just to ourselves, but to others and other wonderful beings that we may encounter along the way. So go ahead and begin in either a seated posture or lying down. Whatever works best for you works best for me, right? It's all about you. And let's begin by taking a moment to settle our body into that comfortable position. You may close your eyes or keep them slightly open with that soft focus. If you're seated, maybe you're looking down a few feet in front of you. Whatever works best for you. Go ahead and breathe in. And breathe out in through your nose. And put that half smile on your face too, right? As you meditate, go ahead and give yourself that half smile, just like that. That's what I like to do. Allow your spine to lift and your shoulders to soften. Soften your belly as you begin to settle in. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then with your eyes closed, or however you like them, keeping those breaths slow and evenly in and out through your nose. And then use awareness of the breath to anchor you in this present moment. Follow the breath for 3 long, patient inhales and 3 long, patient exhales as well. So breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in, and breathing out. And breathing in and out. And now notice the body itself. And we'll begin at the top of the head. Notice the face and the back of your head. The entire head. You can do the visual around as you Imagine what it looks like from looking from a outside perspective. And you can acknowledge all that's happening in your head right now. Anything that's going on through your mind. Just acknowledge that it's there. Feel the breath moving in and out through the nose. And you can recognize the function of your eyes, even as they're closed, how important that they are. Such an important function that they serve. Bring awareness to the function of your ears, the mouth, and of course, how the mind makes sense of all of that, what we see and hear and taste and think. Notice how much and how often you've benefited from the eyes and ears and mouth and nose. And how much and how often you've benefited from the functionality of your capable mind, your caring mind. And recognize too that not everyone can see or hear or smell or taste or even think and cognate in the same way that you do. And then let that awareness help you feel a deep and heartfelt sense of gratitude. And you can feel and send thanks to your eyes, to your ears, to your nose and mouth. And send thanks to your mind as well for being able to make sense of everything that your senses pick up. And you can be present with this awareness of gratitude of all the ways that all of the parts of the face and head are serving to protect you. And then we can shift that awareness down to the neck and to our throats. Open to the awareness of gratitude for your voice, your ability to speak and swallow and eat. And we can drop down to awareness of our shoulders and let that gratitude spread. Let it spread all through your shoulders and up at this point. And now we can move down a little bit, and as you become more aware of the functioning of your arms, your ability to move, to reach for things, to hold, and to hug, to embrace. Let gratitude follow as you bring awareness to your arms, to your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Grateful for your opposable thumbs. Grateful for all of the things that hands and fingers help you to get done throughout the day. And up until this moment as well. Rest for a moment in the sensation of gratitude from your head, neck, and arms. And let gratitude build and expand into awe as you embrace awareness to the miracle of the body itself. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, you can open your eyes slowly and begin to bring awareness back to your surroundings. And take a moment to gently reorientate yourselves with your surroundings. How wonderful that is. And being grateful and having that sense of gratitude for a new beginning is such a wonderful emotion or experience or sensation that we allow ourselves. Something that we could recognize within ourselves that helps us grow and interact with the world in a more positive and compassionate way. But with new beginnings, we don't typically have a fear of achievement, right? When we think of something new, when we embark on something exciting sometimes, we don't always have fear of achievement as we do for failure, right? And we usually look forward to something we enjoy, with anticipation and excitement. Think about, summertime now, or getting to be summertime. Think about like a barbecue or a pool party. You don't have any you have anticipation, no hesitation, right? With something new or unknown, right? Where the outcome may be a little bit different. Like a job interview or public speaking or even a tough family conversation, right? We can have some trepidation or hesitation for those conversations or those activities. And the fear that we experience comes from us wanting to control the unknown, which we know it's not mostly possible. If you're on a job interview, you can do as much research on that company and as you can, and maybe know sales statistics, or go in there with your best attire on and speaking eloquently and fluently and so forth, then it's still not come out in your favor. You've done everything in your control, what you can, but you may not always get that the outcome that you want. So that's where that typical fear comes from. Our wanting to control and not being able to control. But if it's something we consider fun and enjoyable, we don't really consider the negatives of what could go on. Think about a pool party, right? Suppose you forgot your sunscreen and you get sunburned. Which reminds me of that graduation song, right? Don't forget your sunburn, or don't forget your sunscreen. Perhaps you ate bad potato salad at this barbecue. It's not something you considered, right? You just thought, you're going to go hang out with your friends and have a good time. You ate some bad potato salad. Maybe it's macaroni salad. I don't know. Whatever you like. But if it's something new or tough or unknown, we don't often consider the positives, right? Or we kind of minimize them, positive outcomes. Suppose you do get that job. Suppose no one else bothered to look up sales figures. Or maybe at your public speaking event, you got a thunderous applause. Or maybe that conversation went better than you expected, that family conversation. Think about the positives. And then that's where we can start our gratitude. Being grateful for what we have an opportunity to do. Not necessarily the outcomes, but the opportunity to be present. And so when we embrace gratitude, we are much more kind to ourselves because we appreciate not what we don't have, but what we do have. And that's where the mindful beauty comes in. The beauty of mindfulness. Knowing what we have, being happy with what we have. And new beginnings are much like a field of a wonderful opportunity. But before the new beginning can be undertaken, right, with the care, the mindful care that should be demonstrated, like all fields need to be tilled, right, overturned, and exposing that moist, rich, fertile soil below. And this takes work. It takes a lot of work to do that. And we still, even with that overturning, we still have to pull out those weeds that we come across. And so before we can embrace on a new beginning, we have to overturn our own fields. And by that, we have to begin to recognize that a change is needed and that we want to change. Very often, we know something is not good for us, but yet we don't change. So both of those situations need to come into play and join together. And this could be the changes that we seek. It could be, adopting a mindfulness lifestyle. That's a lifestyle. It's a mindset that leads to a wonderful lifestyle, appreciations. Or it could be a healthy lifestyle. It could be going to Alcoholics Anonymous, right? Recognizing you have a substance abuse problem. It could be ending an abusive relationship. It could be starting a new job at a new city. I have a friend of mine doing that right now. She's driving all the way out from Philadelphia, where she's lived her entire life, and moving out to Arizona. It's a big change. Big change for her. Or it could even be ending a marriage. There's a lot of things that we recognize we need to change, but then we have to admit, and we have to want to change ourselves for those new beginnings to begin to cultivate the positivity that we are deserving of. But when we stay where we are, whether a lot of times it's out of fear, right? It's not just physical violence fear, right? It could just be what other people think. Oh, what are they going to think? What is someone going to say to me if I embark or embrace a mindfulness lifestyle or become a vegan or try a weight loss program or something like that? What are they going to say? What am I going to say to myself? So that could be fearful too. It doesn't have to be something external. And so, or whether it's complacency or just comfort, right? Our fields become overgrown when that happens. And all kinds of noxious weeds, they can begin to grow in those types of fields. Things like self-doubt, feelings of unworthiness, shame, self-ridicule. All of those negative weeds begin to grow and take over. But when we approach new beginnings with empathy, right? If someone else were in this position, what would you say to them? Compassion. There's a loving kindness inside you that needs to be nurtured. Gratitude. I am grateful for all that I have, big and small. And trust, right? No matter the outcome of this new beginning, you will be okay. Trust it. So we give ourselves, our tilled fields, that opportunity to thrive when we have empathy and compassion and gratitude and trust. That's one way that we can, or those are some ways, I should say, that we can turn our fields. Let that moist, fertile soil to the top. But even in the most beautiful fields or gardens, right? Weeds can and will still arise from time to time. And as mindfulness practitioners, we accept that weeds will sprout. And then when they do, we can say to ourselves, I see you, Mr. Weed. You do not belong here. And we can stop their growth, pull them out if need to. So new beginnings can be a big step. And oftentimes they're necessary for our own growth. So we don't have those feelings of shame or self-ridicule or self-doubt. So don't be afraid to try them, because fear is the only thing holding you back. And the fear, remember, is usually irrational. It's not something that's necessarily going to come to fruition, right? It's like that public speaking event. You won't forget your lines. You won't forget what you got to say. And you'll get that thunderous applause. Good job. Anyway, I thank you for spending some of your precious time with me here tonight. And I am very grateful for you being here and for your attention to this topic. It's such a wonderful topic, beginning anew sometimes. And some center updates, just what's going on. Our silent retreat, our first silent retreat for the season is this weekend, this Sunday. All right. This Sunday. And as always, our silent retreats are free. All right. And there's a vegetarian lunch that's served as well. So you don't have to bring your own stuff. Tea and water are all provided, all that stuff. And they are at the end, usually the last Sunday of the month. This weekend it's not, but the last Sundays of the month, our schedule's on our website. You're more than welcome to download a copy of it or add it to your calendar, and you're always welcome. We do ask that you register just so I can prepare. That's all. Nothing else. They last until September. So the end of September. So May, June, July, August, and September. Here in Minnesota, the weather kind of starts getting jinky sometimes, in October. So that's kind of iffy. We're also having our first teen mindfulness retreat. Right? That'll be from July 5th through the 9th. It's not overnight. It's daytime. But you can come learn mindfulness for our wonderful teenagers that drop in and talk every now and then with me and how to help, how I can help them navigate certain, teenage experiences. We'll talk about body image, sexual identity, relationships with parents and teachers and with yourself and others, as well as other topics as well. And we are on the Amazon Smile program if you care. We have a link on our YouTube main page, right on the channel page. It doesn't cost you anything, but YouTube or Amazon will make that donation. You just register once, and that's it. YouTube will Amazon will make that donation. It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't raise your prices or anything. And so that's a wonderful way for anyone to support us if they so wish. And if you do find these talks helpful and calming and helping you relieve anxiety or answer questions at different points in time of your life or situations, please go ahead and subscribe and like, and certainly let me know in the comments when I post this. Certainly let me know in the comments, what you're thinking. And then, once again, I thank you for your kind intention, and I wish you peace and well-being always, my friends. Peace and well-being. Take care.